Hey, everybody. I just have to go right on over here to Instagram and click go live. There we go. All right. So, hello, rise and shine to all of you. Hope you're having a fabulous start to your day. For those on the East Coast, it's almost 8 a.m. Here, Central Standard Time, and it's almost 7 a.m. And I won't take up much of your morning. You can listen to me as you move around and do what you have to do to get to your destination or to get your day started. But I really just wanted to come on here and I put some things in the description for this particular live stream that kind of ignited conversation on yesterday with a friend of mine about student loan. I guess the creation of student loans, um, the the way that they can put a lot of people into debt, and how people have goals, desires outside of being employees. And in order to do that, a lot of them feel like they're stifled because they have student loan debt. And if they are to step out on their own, the person was saying, but then if I have my own business, then I'm spending so much time up front um, that it seems like it's daunting, it's overwhelming to be a small business owner until you can hire the help. Like you start off with one person and you might hire, two more people. And then, maybe 3, 4 years down the road, you hire 15 because now you've grown so much that you can afford to have salaries to pay out to other people. And I told her that I had just read and finished an audiobook. And whenever you hear me say I read a book, I do it two ways. I listen to it and then I have the actual book. And as I hear something that I like, I'm highlighting it in the book. And I'm reading that page so I can get it. I don't know what it's called when you get information multiple ways, that's the way that it sticks. So for me, that's one way that I can do that, especially because I'm so busy and so mobile with 3 children under the age of 8. I'm constantly moving around and doing things. So to sit and have outside of my dedicated time every morning to sit and read my Bible, to have that dedicated time throughout the day, in addition to studying cybersecurity, is not always available. So audiobooks are a godsend to me. And literally, thank you. So this book by Grant Cardone, if you don't know him, go look him up. He is the definition of get her done. Do whatever you got to do and get her done. You just have to. Because if you believe in yourself, then your belief in yourself is going to be stronger than anybody else's belief in who you are. So no matter if you have student loans, no matter if they're $10,000, no matter if they're, my case, $40,000 when you walked across the stage and then they just inflated to $96,000, like whatever the case may be, whatever the number is. And then there's people who go to law school and they go to medical school and they end up with 200,000, 300,000, 400, $500,000 in student loan debt, which is absolutely phenomenally ridiculous to me. Like it just fuels the fire up under my butt. Like who the heck thought that was okay? Who sat at a big boardroom table and said, let's corrupt the American society and create this thing called student loans, because most people can't go to school, but we'll make education so important that we'll make people feel like they have to go to college. And then when we have them go to college, it's going to cost thousands of dollars beyond the middle class, the lower middle class, and the poverty line people, that they're still going to want to go because they're going to think, oh my gosh, if I go to college, this is going to be so great. It's going to be so awesome. But how are we going to afford it? Okay, so you've got scholarships. Your whole 4-year career for college is going to cost you. This is when I went to school. It's ridiculously more expensive now for people who are going to college. But for me back then, I think it was $25,000 a year. So when you walked across the stage, if you had student loans for all of it before interest, then at minimum you probably walked out with $100,000 for undergrad. That doesn't include your master's, your doctorate, your JD, your MD, none of that. That's just your undergrad. And now it's probably way more than that. I don't even know. Oh, you know what? Let's just do some research. Let's just do some research really quick, and we'll get some of these things answered. Let me share my screen real quick. Share. And let me see. Do I want to? I'm going to share this one. And we're just going to change it. And by the way, this reminds me, I'm having a Discord meeting tonight on the platform called Discord. So you want to get that information, go to my Facebook page, Mia Juliana. The event is in there. And matter of fact, I'll put it in. Let me just share it here for you all to have so that you can connect with us, because we get in there and we ask all kinds of questions about funding strategies, about, you know, what are grants, what type of grants are available for my cause. Are there any grants available for Black men? Are there any grants available for Black men who want to create a travel company? Are there any grants available for single moms? Are there any grants available for children? Are there any grants available for students who want to study, you know, ballet? You know, like there's all types of different types of grants out there. So people just have different things that they want to do, different causes, different types of communities that they want to help. And the purpose of the information session on tonight, 9 p.m. Central, is to allow for people to get their questions answered. So I'll be on there live in person, answering questions and giving people the information that they're seeking. So I highly advise you to come in the room on tonight, 9 p.m. Central, to get that information. And let me see if I can post this here. So this is the link. It should post. Let me see if it's posting. Live viewer comments show up on stream. Okay, so it should be on there. So you all can click that and it'll take you straight to the event and allow for you to be able to get in. This is my little baby. This is my youngest little baby. She just woke up. So pardon us as we get ready for the morning. But one reason why I won't keep you long. So I could go on and on and on about why I have a distaste for the mindset behind student loans. Love the fact that I was able to get an education and get a college degree. Absolutely. Do not take that away. Love the fact that I was able to study abroad and be able to do all the things that I wanted to do. Not being ungrateful. It's just very, very challenging when you're not prepared. And it's almost like you're set up for failure. And that is what I don't agree with. And that is the fire that ignites my passion to do what I'm doing, because that is where my heart lands, because that has what has been affecting me for so many years, because there was no prior preparation. How do you prepare a doctor to be able to go into surgery? They have to go to school to learn how to do that surgery. But how do you prepare the student for life in college with student loans, and also telling them at the same time that afterwards, this is what you might have to deal with. You might have to deal with being laid off. You might have to deal with having parental leave and your pay get cut or your job be, eliminated. You might have to deal with interest rates that could fluctuate. You might have to deal with studentaid.gov changing the regulations on your student loans every year, every 2 years, every 3 years, every 4 years, every 5 minutes, whenever the heck they want to. You could possibly start a nonprofit to help you be eligible for PSLF. What is PSLF? Was that even available 20 years ago, 25 years ago? Bless you. And then it's just so many different things that you're not prepared for in the formative years leading up to going to college. There's so many things that, pardon me, I don't know what y'all are doing in high schools now or in middle schools now, but when I went to school, there was no class. We'll get you some water right over there. There was no class, absolutely no class, that taught me what it meant to get a student loan. had not even heard the word until it was time to sit with the cashier and sign a promissory note. What the heck am I signing? Thank goodness I had parents who kind of made it, made it their business to find out that information. But still, it wasn't super clear. It wasn't super clear what I was signing off on. And then when you go to the exit interview, you're looking at this like, okay, I have a job lined up, but goodness, my first job is less than what these loans are. How am I going to make these payments? Who's going to teach me how I'm going to make these payments? Who's going to teach me to make these payments and also make sure I keep up with my rent? And then, okay, so what if you have a job change and it requires you to also budget in moving expenses and relocation costs and setting up a new electricity account in a new place that requires a deposit and, all these things in life that now on top of that, you have these student loans that are impending on you. And this is what I told the young lady on yesterday. I said, number one, if you have a business idea that you want to do, make that your passion. Did you open the water? Did you open it? I'm sorry. Huh? Okay. It just looked, you have some in your cup? Yeah. Okay. Because the water bottle was still closed. Pardon me. And I won't ever apologize for having my children on the live because this is real life. I know there are people who have great, wonderful sets and they have, 500,000 people on their team behind them doing the lights and having cameras in 50,000 different directions. Not there yet. My life is what it is. I am a single mother with 3 children under the ages of 8, and things happen, and my kids will be in and out when they come in and out. It is life, but so moving along, I told the young lady, I said, if you have a dream and a passion that you are like, fundamentally, I have to see this come to pass. Fundamentally, I have to see this come to pass. Then make that your passion, make that your will, because when it comes for you to get funding and capital for that business, nobody can sell you like you. And if that business or that organization is going to be a nonprofit, absolutely that can help you with your student loan situation. So all of the information that you'll get from me on any of my platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you find me, Twitter, when you see Finpowerment Hacks, the purpose of it is going to be to give you financial information, to empower you to go through and move forward, to burst the seams on some of this stuff that they have really imprisoned people with this debt situation. It is absolutely, if I could scream, I probably would, because what I like about it is that I'm one of those people that sees a huge problem. It is huge. It is massive. And then there's even more things that are coming down the pipeline that's about to be a slap in the face, a punch in the throat, a kick in the gut to a lot of people that have student loans. And if they don't take action in the right way at the right time, it's not going to be good. And does the government know? Yes. Do the servicers know? Yes, absolutely. It's them sitting at these tables making these decisions and imposing them on those that they know are probably going to have a hard time making it financially, making the mortgage payment, making the rent payment, all of those different things. Absolutely, fundamentally, they know. Are there solutions? Yes, there are. Are people going to take the time to go and research every single thing? Oh, nope, I'm too busy. I got to do this. Oh, no, we got soccer practice. Oh, no, we got baseball practice. Oh, no, my favorite show is on. I need to decompress. It was a long day. No, I need to get a massage. I need to, I need to do my self-care. No, I have other things that I need to do. I got to go out of town. I got to go to a funeral. I got to go to a doctor's appointment, whatever the case is. But people always make time for what they want to make time for. If you want to make time for the change, you'll make time for it. If you need help making time for the change, you'll call somebody like me to help you make time for the change, because I'm going to do the work and I'm going to make sure that anybody that I work with that's in my client base is satisfied and they have resolutions and we've met at a place of resolve. So Student loans. Let's go in here and just look really quick. So when we look at student loans, let's see, when I type in student loans, what are the first things that come up? Are a type of good debt. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, but okay. It affords you an education, yes, but are there other ways of doing it? This is what I want to type in real quick. Side-by-side comparison. This just popped up. Direct unsubsidized loans, 8.8%. Direct plus loans, 9.08%. Interest rates and fees for federal student loans. So for some reason, Holy Spirit may have wanted me to type that in for someone who wanted to see or who needed to see that. United States versus Europe. Ensuring that students are not burdened by high borrowing costs. That's interesting. So they're looking out for their students in a different way. You know what? Let's see. Student loans United States versus student loans for Turkish students. Need a cosigner to apply for an international student loan. Now, I wonder if that's to come here. Yes, that's probably to come here. Because the cosigner must be a U.S. citizen. Which country has the highest student loan debt? Globally, student loan debt in the U.S. is second only to the United Kingdom. Well, a lot of colonialists came from that area. So maybe that's where the whole idea came from, according to a 2022 Lending Tree report. So this is a couple of years old. Other countries show student loans can be simple and humane. I like that. Simple and humane. Yes, ma'am. Yes. So simple and humane has really caught my attention. I'm going to put that article up. Let me just Control F and look up humane. Student loan repayments can be humane and sensitive to people's financial situation, she said, and the more simple and automatic it is, the more effective it's going to be. All right, bear with me one quick second. Oh. So humane is not something that I would say has been historically the experience I've had with student loans. And something else that came up in the conversation on yesterday was not only has it been a distraction for someone to start their own business, in addition to the time it takes to ramp up a small business, but it's also the mental health aspect of when you have to call in for help with your student loans and you get the most condescending, least empathetic, emotional intelligence lacking person on the other end of the phone that's supposed to be helping you, then I don't want to call. I don't want to deal with you. I'd much rather deal with a chat or deal with chatting with someone versus having to hear and it go into my psyche, your condescending tone and how you're talking to me about student loans, because you don't know me. You don't know my life. You don't know what's happened to me, what's happened to my finances. You don't know about what job I've had, what job I haven't had. You don't know me. Unless you have a front row seat to what goes on into my life every single day of every minute of every hour, you don't know. You don't know. And it's very, very daunting on the positivity of mental health. And it can make it very negative. It can make it very dark. And then you don't want to deal with calling. And for a long time, that was the only way that you could deal with student loans, was to pick up the phone and call them. and have these conversations with them, which made you feel inferior or less than, or anxiety of now I have to tack on another bill that's way outside the budget of what I have to pay them. And that there's no end in sight. Like they're always going to be there. And I even remember working as a paralegal for attorneys at one point in time, taking the mail to the VP attorney and putting it in the place where I would put it, which was in a drawer that she had organized for her mail, and seeing that it was Sally Mae. And I'm thinking, this is a successful, I mean, hugely successful attorney, but also has 2 kids and also is married and also has a mortgage and also has, tuition for private school for 2 children to pay for. Life happens. Life happens. I mean, this person was making nice 6 figures and still having to deal with that. At that point, it seems like the government would say, you know what? We have $3.75 trillion. I mean, do we really need your $300 payment a month? I know every coin adds up and it makes it to where we're paying back to the economy so much money that they loaned us. But where did that money come from in the beginning? Does anybody ever talk about that? Where did that loan come from in the beginning? So the humane part of it, and you all can go to this website and look more about this. This is wgbh.org/news, and you can find this article. When was this? This was September 8th of last year. So cancel student debt is, I mean, that's my stance on it. I know people who have paid off their student loans. I don't know if they walked across the stage with, 40,000 or more. Maybe they just had 10 and maybe it was no big deal to them. And they paid it. Maybe they were making 6 figures when they walked out of school. So paying back $100,000 to them was nothing because they were making $350,000. They just paid it off. That's not everybody's story. It's not everybody's story to have a trust fund and that trust fund turn around into money that you can pay off for school. Everybody doesn't have a mom or a dad that sits and talks to them about their options for school. I sent you all I made some content for you on yesterday about the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I'm going to start calling it the BMG Foundation because it's so much to say. But that foundation that provides a way for Black and Latino post-secondary students to be able to get an education because they come from environments that just they're not suitable for the upper middle class, or they're not suitable and similar to like the upper middle class, the higher class, the high net worth, ultra high net worth that can send their kids off to school and either foot the bill for their children or they can foot half the bill. They know where to get grants. They know how to tell their kid to look for scholarships when they're a freshman and sophomore in high school. They're having those conversations. And then when you come back down, not everybody is having those conversations because what is everybody else trying to do? They're trying to survive. I'm not trying to make excuses for people because I believe in a mindset can take you to a different place. I believe in perseverance and your will and your drive and your work can open up doors for you differently than other things. But I don't discredit the life of people that I see under bridges here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex either. I'm not dumb. I'm not stupid nor naive. These people do not have a home. Did they ever? I would hope so at some point that they did. Why did they lose it? Was it mismanagement of money? Who taught them about that? I don't know. Maybe they had a parent or a teacher to teach them about that. I don't know. But I know when I went to high school, I absolutely never, ever, ever was imparted with a class that taught me about financial management. Never, ever, ever was I imparted with the class that taught me how to balance a checkbook. Never, ever, ever was I imparted with the class, and they may have taught that in home ec. I didn't take home ec. I was never, because I have to speak from my personal experience, talk about the whole North American education system, what it was 25, 30 years ago compared to what it is today. So today's schools that are doing all of these things, bravo, bravo, bravo to you. I commend you because a lot of us that are in my shoes in our early 40s, late 30s, and then the ones that are older, 50s and 60s. Like, these things were not taught in school that I know of. I could be absolutely wrong, but thank goodness that I had a mother who sat with me at the banker's table and helped me open up my first bank account. Thank goodness that I had a mom and dad who helped me know how to write a check, and they helped me learn how to balance a checkbook. But if you come from a 2-parent household and they got 3-4 kids and they're both working 2-3 jobs each, and the kids are going to school all day and they're trying to do extracurricular activities as best they can and for as free as they possibly can, nobody's having these conversations. People are trying to survive, y'all. They're trying to survive. That is the point blank period matter of fact of it. Everybody gets to live with tennis court and a pool and a this and a that and a garage that they can walk right into their apartment. Like, not everybody has that. So it absolutely fuels my fire to learn that not only since I was in school has college education quadrupled per year, but it's still the same platform to get people into a mold where they are imprisoned for financial debt. It's inhumane. It's unjust. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. And that's why, if you follow my Facebook page, which should be, I think I posted the link for the event for tonight, 9 p.m. Central. We'll be in Discord, and I'll be giving some strategies on excuse me, on ways to get funding for whatever your project or cause or business is. And one of those links is to my Facebook page, I believe. But if you follow my page, it was a few weeks ago that I posted something that said, I'm not holding back any information. I'm just going to give you what I know. I'm going to share with you what I know. I believe people need to know. A lot of the things that I have found out are conversations that a lot of people have at their dinner table. But it's also a conversation that a lot of people are not having at their dinner table, that they're not having with their children because they don't know. And when you don't know what you don't know, you're not going to talk about it. You're just not. So I want to do something really quickly. Why were student loans originally created? Oh, let's see what AI has something to say. Okay. The first federal student loans in the United States were created in 1958 under the National Defense Education Act, NDEA. The program was established in response to the Soviet Union's launch of Sputnik, the first space satellite in 1957, which started the space race. Okay. Can you wake up your sisters, please? Thank you. The loans were intended to help the U.S. compete by ensuring a supply of highly trained Americans in scientific and technical fields. Okay. The loans were initially only available to certain students, such as those studying engineering, science, or education, and were accompanied by grants. Have you seen my content? Grants, scholarships for high school students gifted in math, science, and modern foreign languages. So what if you're not gifted in those things? What if you're gifted in dance? What if you're gifted in writing? Are there grants for you? What if you're gifted in any type of artistry? No, honey, I'm talking to the camera and the people on the other side of the camera. So what if you're gifted in something other than these things in that time frame? You wanted to go to college in 1958 or 57. How are you going to afford it? Well, you probably had to have a really good connection with somebody who could pay cash. Right? Or you were just awarded the opportunity. A lot of HBCUs were awarding people opportunities and scholarships and grants within themselves because a lot of white institutions weren't giving them. So there were other options. How many people in that time frame walked out with a bunch of student loans? I don't know. And we could look into that in another video. But what I wanted to just focus on today was to share why the passion is what it is for me, for my purpose, for the vision that I'm creating, for the business, and also for the nonprofit that will be under my auspice, my umbrella, who I want to help, why I want to help them. And it would be any and every person who has a project or cause that needs funding and capital, but they feel like they are hindered because of student loan debt. And all around, because all of it focuses on, or all of it stems from financial impediments, is why my content is what it is. And is why I have a drive and a will and a passion to help people, to help us make better decisions, not just finances and how you balance your checkbook and why your credit is the way it is and how can you make more money in your job and how can you do all of these different things with getting more money and organizing your money. But let's break the mold. Let's think outside the box. Let's take on a different perspective. Let me let you read this really quick. So focus on opportunity. Successful people see all situations, even problems and complaints, as opportunities, where others see difficulty. Successful individuals know that problems solved equal new products, services, customers, and probably financial success. Remember, success is overcoming a challenge. Therefore, you know what? I don't think you can see this. I don't think you can see this. Let me turn this on for you. Ooh, present. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Joy's not waking up.
Okay, we'll get her up in just a second. Why don't you go find a dress to put on for school today?
Well, I don't want to go to church.
Oh, yeah. You said Lila and the Luke.
Yeah.
Go do that.
What?
She wants to watch Lila and the Luke.
Upstairs.
Let me get this for you. Here it is. Okay. This is from an author that I highly enjoy reading. Grant Cardone. Start over. So number 3 out of his rules for being successful, basically. Successful people see all situations, even problems and complaints, as opportunities. Where others see difficulty, successful individuals know that problems solved equal new products, services, customers, and probably financial success. Remember, success is overcoming a challenge. Therefore, you can't succeed without some kind of difficulty. It doesn't really matter what the challenge is. As long as you handle it adequately, you'll be rewarded. And the bigger the problem is, the bigger the opportunity as well. When a problem exists for the entire market and all the people in it, it becomes an equalizer. The only person who stands out is the opportunity-focused individual who sees those problems as openings for success. These people are able to use the issue at hand to separate themselves and dominate the marketplace. There are countless situations that most people tend to see as setbacks and nothing else. Recessions, unemployment, housing predicaments, conflict, customer complaints, and company shutdowns, just to name a few. If you can learn to see these as prospects instead of problems, you'll continually come out on top. And one thing that he did when everybody, even his number one competitor, let all of their staff go during 2020, coronavirus, COVID-19, the pandemic hit. People were shutting down and not doing television as much. People they weren't investing in their business that they were like they were before. And then he said, I'm going to keep investing. And he took his salary and said, I won't get a salary this year. Instead, I'll take that salary. I'll continue to pay my staff, but I'm going to take my salary and I'm going to reinvest it into my business. And then his business, because everybody else was pulling back. They were pulling back. They're like, nope, don't want to do it. This is dangerous. Oh my gosh, what is this thing? Is it ever going to go away? I'm scared. Fear. And he went in and he said, disruptor, totally disrupting the market. So he comes in and he just keeps going and he just keeps going. And he said, was it scary? He said, yeah, people tend to think I don't have fear. He said, that was scary. I had a wife and we needed things. We had a house, we had a mortgage, but he did not take his salary that year and reinvested it into his business. That's the mind of a leader and a business owner who won't stop. That's success. So number 4, you got to love challenges. Whereas many people loathe challenges and use them as reasons to sink further into indifference, highly successful individuals are compelled and invigorated by challenges. The idea of being overwhelmed, I believe, is the result of never taking enough action to generate enough winning. And what he means here is, if you've ever done this, and I've been guilty of this in the past, if you've ever said, you know what? Okay, yeah, sure. I'm gonna work for this company, and I'm gonna build up their cause, and I'm gonna put my energy and efforts into their dream, into what they want to reach for their revenue goal. I'm going to put all of my effort, all of my time. I can't go to my child's recital or performance because I got to work for this company. And I got to make sure that they make it to the top for their vision and for their mission. I will make 50 calls a day. I will make 100 calls a day. I will make 150 calls a day. And then when it comes to your own business, how many calls a day are you making? And then when you don't, your business doesn't get to where you want it to be, so you scale back. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you've become overwhelmed, but you haven't had enough wins on your own because you're putting everything else into somebody else's own, right? Nothing wrong with that. Eventually, every small business owner has to have help. They have to have employees. Employees are a necessary part of life. Absolutely. But would you ever look at a Warren Buffett or a Bill Gates or a Mark Zuckerberg or an Oprah Winfrey or a Whoopi Goldberg or anybody else who has their own and be like, you would have been better as an employee? Some people just aren't wired that way, and some people are. So, reading along, success begets more success, and losses increase your chances of more losses. Challenges are the experiences that sharpen successful people's abilities. To achieve your goals, you have to get to a place where every challenge becomes fuel for you. Life can be quite brutal, and people can incur a fair amount of losses over time. Many get to a point where every new challenge they face automatically equals a loss in their mind. There are ways to rehabilitate yourself, however, so that the hardships you've experienced throughout your life no longer rob you of the chance to approach new challenges with gusto and excitement. The book is fire. Absolutely fire. If y'all can go through and read the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, do it. It is absolutely, it was just magic. It was magic reading it. So I'm going to go ahead and end the live for today. You have the link for tonight. Join us. Come in the room, 9 p.m. Central. The Discord link is, and I'm sorry, the Facebook event link is posted here in the chat. Click on that. It'll tell you how to become a part of the audience for the room for tonight. Get in the room. Literally, get in the room for a cup of coffee at Starbucks or for some donuts. Do you really need them? Get in the room. Get in the room. You need to be in the room to hear the information, to get the information, to better yourself with the information. Get in the room. All right. I will see you all tonight, 9 p.m. Central. Have a great rest of your day. Hugs.